In February of 2018, Charlie was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. When Charlie was diagnosed, I'd like to say that I remember exactly what I was feeling. I was terrified that not only for her, but for myself and my family, were we going to be capable of doing this and taking care of her?
My condition is type 1 diabetes. I was diagnosed at 3 years old, and basically it means my pancreas that is produce insulin has stopped working.
I had thought that it was something about sugar that was really setting her off, and she acted more hyper than normal, like kids do with sugar. And then she started to become very lethargic, pale. She was thirsty all the time. And I said to our doctor that, these sound like signs of diabetes. My doctor referred us to the IWK for blood work, and sure enough, she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes right then and there.
I'm type 2 diabetic, and it is a lot different, but I kind of thought when they first told us at the hospital, I was like, oh, I can check her sugars, and this is no big deal, because I was already doing that, but it was on a way bigger level. Kate, her mother, has just been fantastic. When it comes down to knowing and the knowledge of being diabetic, I don't know what I would do without her and trying to do this with Charlie. I really used her shoulder to get myself through, the same thing as she was going through.
My first memory of the IWK was my diagnosis, and I just remember all the support and all the doctors, and I did not feel alone. I felt like I had a really good support system, and I knew that it was going to be a long road, but with all the doctors' help, I knew it was going to be easier.
I remember the nurse saying, she's just short of us admitting her. Do you think that you can do this on your own on the weekend? And she sat with us and taught us everything that she possibly could in a short span of time.
So the nurses at the IWK, when we sat down and they were explaining us, we would have to prick her finger, check her blood sugars, and we would have to start giving her insulin. There was just this tiny pen, and it had insulin in it. We had to count whatever she was eating as their carbs, and we would have to give her the right amount of insulin to the food that she was eating.
I like going to the IWK the most for all of the nurses because I love all of them. Lauren is the dietitian, and she is my favorite ever. I have the best connection with her because she would explain how things worked, what to do, and she would explain it to me like, a kid, so that I would know what she was talking about.
The IWK, throughout Charlie's journey there, was when we finally bit the bullet and got the insulin pump. It was a whole new thing to learn, and I was like, I just sort of started figuring this out, which is the funny thing about diabetes, because once you think you have it figured out, you do not. My father came with us to get her insulin pump. I have a picture of them together, and they're like thumbs up. He's been such a helping hand and a support system for us throughout this whole journey. And the IWK they gave us the confidence, again, with this new technology, and having that moment with my dad and with the team at the IWK. It was a really special moment because it really was a turning point in her life with diabetes.
Drag racing's our favorite thing to do together. We do a lot of traveling around the Maritimes. It was scary for her at first. Now she goes full blown down the track. She's very, very good at it. A lot of friends at the track will ask her, are your sugars good?
My personal goals in life are to get into bigger cars with racing, to open up a small nail business, eventually maybe someday be on Broadway, and I want to be a pediatric nurse. I want to help kids plus people with diabetes because I know what it's like to have it, and so I know how to answer the questions and how to kind of explain it more because I have to explain it to all my friends. And
Charlie is what I like to call a firecracker. She has a giant personality and always has.
Larger than ours? Impossible!
When we were at the IWK for a 14-day stay, there were nurses and doctors that would come up to our floor just to meet the Charlie that they had heard about. She has always had a kind heart.
If I were to see a kid who is new to going to the IWK, I would tell them, should ask questions, and feeling scared and feeling lonely is completely okay. That's how I felt. And when I asked those questions, it gave me a lot of reassurance.
Within a month of Charlie being diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, she was an ambassador raising money to find a cure for diabetes, and on the platforms, on stages, talking to people about what it was like to be diabetic.
I will never let it hold me back. My pancreas may have stopped working, but I will never stop working to find a cure.